Good morning, guys. Good morning, good morning, good morning. Good morning. This is your girl, Kat Harvey, with the Kat Harvey and A. Christine show. I am so excited to be on today. And so let me just change my privacy note so everybody can come in and join. I'm very excited to have you guys join us today. Um, So I am in the beautiful city of where am I this time? I am in the beautiful city of where am I? Maryland. And it is a little dreary today, but I'm very excited about the day, the topic. It's a great topic. Everyone knows I am a girl who loves to take a day or two to pamper myself. I believe I work hard, so I definitely like to spend that time on my day off to go like get my nails done and go do a mani pedi to make sure I am eating properly and in the gym. I haven't been in the gym as much as I like, but I definitely try to go to the gym and all that good stuff because I think it's important. I'm going to allow you guys to come in. I'm waiting for you to come in because I don't want you to miss this topic. This topic is absolutely amazing, so I want you to be a part of it. A lot of you have commented in our Facebook post, so I definitely want to make sure that you get a chance to be a part of it. So I'm inviting some people in now. Give me a few minutes. And when you come in, just say hello, tell us where you're from so that we can recognize you. But for sure, I want you to come in. I'm just like I said, I'm sharing, I'm inviting people in. So come on in. I am live, guys. I'm waiting for you to come in and join this wonderful topic. We are talking about I'm ready for sex, but not marriage. I'm ready for sex, but not marriage. So come on in. I want to hear your feedback. I want to know your thoughts on this topic. And I know it's going to be a lot of different perspectives because I know we have some people who are heavily involved in ministry, and we know what the Bible says about fornication and different things like that. What I don't understand is why, as churches, we don't address these situations because I think it's very important that we talk about these topics. So come on in, join us. I see that you're coming in now. So I'm going to give you a few minutes. Welcome, welcome, welcome. I have a wonderful guest this morning, India Daniels. She's going to talk about this topic. I thought she had a great perspective on this. So I want to bring her in. Come on in. I see you're coming in. Good morning, good morning, good morning. As you are coming in, just tell us hello. We love, like I said, we love to welcome you in. So definitely tell us you're here. I see my besties in the house. Good morning, bestie. Love you. Oh, yeah, and your girl's birthday is this week, coming up on Thursday. I will be 25. So I'm very excited to celebrate my birthday. God is so good. He's amazing. And I cannot wait to celebrate. But as we jump right in on this topic, I'm going to invite no other than India Daniels to the stage. So thank you very much for joining us, Miss India Daniels. Welcome, welcome, welcome to the Kat Harvey and A. Christine show. Good morning, Tawana Patterson. Thank you for joining us. We want to definitely hear your input on this conversation.
Good
Um,
morning. Good morning.
so where are you, India, in this beautiful world today?
I live in Virginia. I live about 30 minutes from Washington, D.C. So probably not too far from you in Maryland.
Awesome, 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 awesome.
Yeah, happy to be here.
I'm so excited. So, what caught your eye about the topic? So, our topic again is I'm ready for sex, but not marriage. Let's talk about it. So, what caught your eye on that topic?
I think this is a topic that is being discussed in among a lot of different circles, right? I think that this is a great topic for single people as well as those who don't really know. what it means to be single versus married. And so, as we explore that, when we talk about single, we're not just talking about single in the fleshly world. We're also talking about single as a Christian, single as a woman or man of God. And I think there's a big difference there when we talk about singleness and oneness. And so it's something that's being talked about amongst a lot of different circles. And so it's been catching my eye. I've just been kind of chiming in here and there, helping out, or, just giving my words of advice and encouragement where I can and where I see that it's necessary. I think as married people, we have a duty to the rest of the folks to offer our insight and help. And so that's where I am at this time in my life.
I love that. So let's explore singleness because people don't understand what that really means. So when I say single, so you have these people who, I've been dating for, 10 years, 5 years. I've been engaged for 3 years.
Yeah.
Let's talk about that. Are they single?
It depends, right? Because,
Okay.
the older I got and the more wisdom I gained, the more understanding of what single actually means. I
Okay.
don't think everybody looks at it the same. And so when I think of single, I think of someone who is not married, obviously,
Okay. Okay.
um, someone who might go on dates, might get to know people, but they have a oneness about them that is just them. It's hard to say that you are single while having sex. And the reason why I say that is because, some people like to say, I'm single, and so I get to mingle and do what I want,
I
not
get to mingle.
realizing that every time you become one with someone through sex, you have a relationship with them. It might not be a monogamous relationship. It might not be a relationship in our general understanding of boyfriend and girlfriend, but if you are connecting sexually with them, you are in fact in relation with them. And so a lot of people look at singleness and think, and this might be some folks who, like to have sex, like, oh, I'm single and I can do what I want, not realizing every time you lay down with someone, you are connecting to them. So if you're connecting with 3 and 4 people at a time, you are in relation with 3 to 4 people at a time. And you're in fact not so single because single is one, right? Single is alone. But
Exactly.
when you connect with someone, you're not alone anymore.
I love this topic. Let's talk about, I want to take it a little bit deeper right there. Good morning, Rochelle. Soul ties. Because people
Yeah.
don't understand every time you sleep with someone, and especially now, I'm not going to differ because I have sons. So I definitely like it from both perspectives. But women, our parts are inner,
Mhm.
right?
Mhm.
So
Yeah.
every time, good morning, Annette, every time you allow somebody to enter into you, you have now taken on not only their spirit, but everybody spirit that they have been with too. See, this is such a deep conversation. People think, oh, I just slept with this person because, as you stated, oh, I'm single, I'm not tied to anybody, so I can mingle, I could do what I want to do. I'm not hurting anyone. I love that. I'm not hurting anyone. You're hurting yourself because you can get so entangled. This is why I like the word, this is where I say entanglement, right? We know that whole thing with Jada and Will, blah, 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 all that stuff, whatever. But that's where you're entangled because now you're entangled with so many different spirits. And if you're not careful, you're wondering why you're acting a certain way because you have taken on this other person's spirit, attributes, whatever. It's stuff that you might not even have been doing before, but all of a sudden you're doing it now. Let's talk about it. What do you say about
Yeah. It, you soul ties are real, and Every time you connect and become one, when we think of sex, right? Sex is
Mhm.
two people connecting, going inside of someone else, and they allowing their parts to go inside of you, and you become one. Now, you might not have become one under God, but you've definitely become one in the flesh. So that's what we're talking about. You're becoming one in the flesh, and you're satisfying those fleshly desires, right? Because that's really what sex is. And especially when you're not building with that person, when you're not married to that person, there's no real energy to do much more, right? So when you're having sex with them, you're connecting with them in the flesh. There's no real benefit other than that. But something deeper happens on the inside of you. Something deeper happens on the inside of them. Um, you're
Absolutely.
connecting your soul, you're connecting your energy, and you're exactly right. Whoever they might have connected with previously, because right, they're single, right? So maybe they're connecting with a number of people. Now that all that connection comes to you. Now all of that energy, all of those auras, all of that fleshly desires that maybe somebody else wants, those lustful thoughts, all that kind of energy becomes inside of you. And so you wonder why the next day or maybe the next week you're like, wow, I feel funky, or wow, I don't feel right, I feel crazy. But you want some more of that person, right? Or you want to
Absolutely.
go back to that person because
Absolutely.
now you are connected to that person in a deep way. You are in relation with them. You're in relations with them now, where you're connected to them and you need more of that connection to feed that flesh, to feed that process. And I think we have to be careful with who we are connecting ourselves to. You know, I'm not one to be a Bible thumper or to say, don't have sex before marriage, but be very careful, be very selective with who you are connecting yourself with, because in fact, you are in relation with them. You are in a relation with them somehow. You're in a sexual relationship with them. Um, and you're not so much single anymore. Now you're having sexual relationships with people.
And I'm always very transparent. That's the one thing you're gonna find out about me. I will
Yeah.
just tell you because I get it. And it's difficult sometimes when you are in your singleness, right? Everybody knows my origin. I was married for 20 years. I got divorced about 5, 6 years ago now, right? And I was for 3 years, I didn't want anything or anybody. I needed to heal, right? From my marriage of 20 years. I needed to heal. I didn't talk to really anybody. I took myself off of social media, everything, because I didn't want to hear what he was saying and, blah, 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 blah. Okay. I was at a place, and when I tell you, and the enemy knows what you like, okay? I'm just going to say it.
Yeah.
He put this nice, this fine brother. Very nice looking man. Very nice. I like chocolate. I like bald head. You dress well. You
Mm.
smell good. I'm in the house, right? Fine brother. And a lot of my friends thought that he was nice looking. And every day we was in a position. I was at a property as I do hospitality. I was at a property, and every day he would just come by and say something to me. In his cologne, when I tell you, from the time he walked through the door to the time he got on the elevator, you could his scent. It was like a scent drawing me, right? Every
Yeah.
time. But I was like, Katrina, no, we don't do that. We don't do that, cat. You good? Nope, we're good. Then he was like something he needed, and I had to come to his room to fix it. So I go to
Oh,
his
my.
room. He had a problem. Right. Because I was managing his property. And I had to go to his room to fix it. And I'm like, okay. And so of course he did a shot thing, right? Of course, right? Next thing I know, after he left the property and stuff, his company, they left, they went to another property. He kept coming over. He would bring me flowers. He would just, say the right words and all this kind of stuff. So we went out. Next thing I know, oh, let me give you a hug. Next thing I know, let me you know, kiss you on your neck. Next thing I know, I'm entangled. Yes, I'm entangled. Saved, sanctified, filled with the Holy Ghost. I am entangled for sure. And the flesh was enjoying every moment of it. Every moment, every day. And I mean, it was every day. Wherever their company was, it was like, you come on, stay with me for the weekend, come over here. I was going. And I'm going to tell you what, I didn't think I was going to get out of that. Like, I was so engulfed in this man because of the sex. It was crazy. And it took God's grace. Like, I had to come out, like the Bible says, in every temptation, he makes a way of escape, right? So I had to come to myself. I said, girl, this is, you got to stop this, right? Because that was not my desire. My desire is to be married again. My desire is not to just go around sleeping with men, or even and I get it. Some people are like, well, I don't desire to get married again. I just want to be in a long-term relationship. Hey, I'm not judging you. I'm going to tell you what the word says. I'm going to tell you what God says. I'm going to tell you what that is. But at the end of the day, like I shared my story, we all have a story. So there's no judgment here at all. I know it's easy to get entangled when the right thing is set before you. Our eyes become drawn to that. The lust of the eyes, I get it. The lust of flesh, all that kind of thing will attract you to that person. And you have to be so careful, because for a year, I was entangled for a year. And it took me going, God, I don't want this. I want what you have for me. I want to be set free. And I mean, I had to stop even taking his calls. I had to block him. Nothing wrong. Like, we were good friends and everything. He didn't do anything wrong, but I had to block him because I knew if I wanted what I said I wanted, which is to be married again, to have that relationship where I'm building, where we're in a kingdom. For me, it's a kingdom relationship. If I want that, I can't be doing this other thing. I can't.
Yeah. You got to be, again, you have to be careful in your singleness. Like, that's why, you have your time of being married, and that's a very important time. But an extremely important time is being single, because being single is also a heavy title, right? You have more, you have more opportunity to do things. Your flesh is more opportunistic. One thing you talked about was, I smelled his cologne. Sometimes it's like the order of senses will appeal to us. The eyes, the ears. We like what we hear. We like what we see. We like what we smell. And the devil knows all of those areas that we as humans struggle in. This is the flesh. We are the flesh. As long as we are in the flesh, we're going to continue to struggle with these boundaries. And when you're single, you have to remember those boundaries. Yes, he smells good, and keep it moving. Oh, nice looking guy, and keep it moving. Not every person that you find attractive, or that smells good, or that says the right things needs to have your flesh, right? Not every person that you encounter in your singleness needs to be a part of you, because once you allow sex to enter the picture, they're now a part of you. See, because you can't forget them. You'll always remember them. You, in fact, always remember the people you have sex with. I've been married for going on 10 years now, and I remember the people I had sex with in my single time, right? Didn't forget about them. And they'll stay with you forever. So you have to, be mindful of that. as you're entering these sexual relationships with others.
And it's even important that you talked about that, because then, and we have to be careful too about comparison.
Yes.
Bringing that into now a committed a marriage, you're comparing what first of all shouldn't have happened, but you're comparing,
Right.
well, he did it this way and you're not doing it this way, or she did it for the male, she did it this way and my wife doesn't do it this way. So I
If
wish.
we could all if we could all be cognizant of that, knowing that, that's why I said your singleness is so important, because you're laying the foundation of who your husband will have.
Mm,
Not who you will have, but who your husband will have. Remembering in your single time what gift your husband has in your married time. Do you want your husband to have someone that's had many relations with many people, and now what? He gets to enjoy you and all of that comes with it? And vice versa, right? Do you,
right, right.
as a man, remembering what your wife will be gifted with when she finally receives you, right? And again, I'm no perfect than anybody else. I might be a Christian, I might be a believer, but I made many mistakes and I was sinful in my youth. I was sinful in my behavior and in my actions. I still am tempted by flesh, even in my married life.
Mhm.
Um, but I think there's a better discipline as you go on in your married life, where you tighten up and you really have to stay close to God. I mean, you really have to
Absolutely.
stay close to prayer to in order to walk that life. This is a life you're walking. You're walking kingdom walk. And
Yes.
it's hard. It's hard to walk kingdom life, but it becomes less hard the closer you get to God. It becomes
Absolutely.
a way of life. You know, you wake up and pray. You go to bed and you pray. While you're driving to work, you're praying. Before a good meeting, you're praying. Before you step out to the mall, you say a prayer. When you're that close to God, it's hard for the enemy to step in and try to tag at your fleshly desires, right?
Absolutely.
Because you're so
Absolutely.
close to God. But a lot of us don't have that relationship with God, right? That's starting there. We don't all have that close relationship. It becomes easier for the enemy to take in and try
Absolutely.
to, knock at that door of temptation, of lust, of, all of that energy. It's easy for the enemy to hold on to that and say, you know what, I'm going to get her today because I'm gonna put this fine man in front of her, and I'm gonna get this fine man to start talking to her,
Hmm.
or I'm gonna get this fine woman.
Hmm.
She's gonna be dressed immaculate, her smile and every word that she says is sweet. We're gonna get her to take a nod at the husband or the single person. Because
Absolutely.
again, these are issues that don't change when you become married.
Absolutely.
You have to make sure that your relationship with God is there and it's strong, and your commitment to discipline is also strong, because discipline, it takes a lot of this to at the forefront should be your discipline. um
Let's
and
talk.
if you don't have God in discipline, you're going to struggle. You are going to struggle.
Absolutely. Absolutely. I want to talk about two things that you talked about. And I think there's a very important for everyone to even, this is very basic. The gift, your body. The Bible tells us to present our body. We're our temple. We're a temple, right? Our body is a temple of God, right? And we're supposed to present our body. So let's talk about that gift. God has given each one of us a gift, which is our body. Why are we so eager in this day and time? And audience, you've joined and chime in. Why are we so eager this day and time to give away such a precious gift, male or female? Why are we are over sexualized in everything we do. I look at, you might be selling a car and the person selling the car half naked. What does that have to do with the car? You're at the gym exercising and your butt cheeks are hanging out, or you have the least amount of clothes on possible, but you're out in the gym. You're going on dates or whatever, and you're like giving it away. It's nothing for the imagination anymore. Why are we so willing to give? I have that, y'all know I have thoughts, but I just want to know what your thoughts are. Why are we so willing to give away this precious gift? Because this is the only one we have. This is the only gift that that we actually have. Why are we so willing to give it away so easily and so frequently?
Yeah, that's a deep question, and I think I'm gonna wait for the audience to speak on it, but I will say we're not treating our body as a temple anymore. We're not acting in that light, right? We're not treating our bodies as special. Our bodies are just another body, but our bodies are not just another body. Our bodies are our kingdom flesh. Our bodies are special, and I feel like we've lost that as as a generation. I'm of the generation millennials, but I think we've lost that over time, where we're not appreciating what God gave us.
Mhm.
And so when we find ourselves abusing our body or doing things that are wrong, you think about it, right? If we
Mhm.
loved our bodies so much, would we truly be abusing them in such a way where we're altering them, um,
Mm.
where we're not happy with our bodies? We're always being told you could look a little better, you could do this a little better, you could and we're idolizing these looks, and that takes away from the fact that God gave you this body, and God
Right.
and God designed you beautifully and beautifully made. It also takes away from the appreciation factor of sex. Some people think, oh, I'm a free spirit. I like to have sex and I'm a free spirit. Some people also think I can have sex and have no attachments, in their mind. That's literally what they're thinking. I have no attachments. Well, there's
Absolutely.
something to be said about your body being attached to everybody, you know? There's
Right,
your
right,
body is
right.
being attached to everybody. So are you really treating it that special? Because it is special, right?
Mhm.
But are you tarnishing your body by altering it or attaching it to another body? I'll
I
leave it
think,
up to the audience.
and I like, and this is where I start. Is think it starts foundational for me, right? A lot of times because the father, and I'm Gen X, but a lot of times the father has not been in the house. And people are like, oh, I don't need my dad. Da, 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 da. But the man sets the standard. If you are a male, men learn by what they see, and that's what they imitate.
Yeah,
Girls learn.
I had one man, he was sharing with me
Mhm.
what it meant in his mind to protect his
Mm,
wife.
okay.
Um, and it was something really deep that he said about his wife's sins. And he said that if his wife is doing something wrong in the realm of infidelity or something of that nature, he is going to be upset with her, but he has a duty to protect her and forgive her. And so, with that being said, he will try his best to protect her even in her sins, right?
Mhm, mhm.
Even when she is doing wrong, he is going to love her, forgive her, and remind her of her
Is
status,
yes, her
right?
purpose. Right, right, okay.
And so I never looked at protection in the realm of sin, right?
Mhm, mhm.
You as a spouse, as a husband, we get it a lot. Protect, provide,
Right.
protection and provision. But what does protection mean? It goes beyond just protecting your home and making sure your foundation is safe, right? It also goes to protecting your wife or your spouse from the devil.
Absolutely, absolutely.
And
Even when
so
we talk back, if we go back to Adam and Eve with the apple, right? Was Adam protecting
exactly.
at that point? Because if he was right there to protect her, would she have eaten the apple? You know what I'm saying? So, and that's what I say. It goes back to me, to the fathers in the house. Like, and even if you don't have a natural father, because people die, we understand that. My father is no longer here, but then you need a spiritual father. You need
Yes, you
someone
do.
to help
Yes, you
guide you.
do.
So even if you have this male, and the same thing with the men, if you find this female that you're dating or whatever, you need to bring them to your spiritual father, because, and this is the thing, two parts. sex clouds our judgment. You become so emotionally involved that you can't think
You can't
straight. Like
see.
this
Yeah,
person
you can't
begins
see
to,
clearly.
you cannot see clearly. Like I'm telling y'all, when I was entangled for real, I was not thinking clearly at all. But I thank God that I have friends, sisters who pray for me because I have people that I'm very honest and transparent with. Hey, I'm struggling in this area. And that's not even an area. This was the got you for me. That's not even an area
Hmm.
that I struggle in. Right? That's the part. That's not even an area that I struggle in. I cannot have sex. I used to tell people all the time, I can sleep in the bed with somebody and not do anything because that's not an area I struggle with. But at this
But God
time,
didn't design us to be alone either. That's the thing.
he
A lot of us think that we can go on our entire lives, right, and just be like, I'm single. I don't need nobody. Yes, we do need each other. Yes, we do need companionship. We need love. We need support.
absolutely,
We cannot go
absolutely,
our whole life. God didn't set us up to be amongst other humans and then to say we don't need them. And I
exactly.
think sometimes that's why I said in your single life, you can build yourself up to be the person you want to be. That is such an important time for you because you can explore yourself, you can get to know yourself, you can you can learn things that you might not be able to learn once you're attached to someone. See, you have a
Absolutely.
lot of responsibility when it becomes attached to somebody else, and you get to and you lose yourself oftentimes. I hear this from a lot of moms and wives. I don't know who
Absolutely.
I am. I don't know.
I've been
I
there.
don't know what I
I've been
like.
there. I've been there.
Yeah,
I've been I've been
because
there.
you're
I've been
so involved in
there. Mhm.
responsibility of being a wife. But in your single time, you don't have that, right? You have
Mhm.
yourself and you really getting to know yourself and you really building up the queen or king that you want to become.
That's true. Tawana says the reason why is because we are not taught how important it is to protect ourselves. The church is always preaching blessings, but not sexual sin. And I think, and I think somebody said, I can't remember who said in the comments before, that they feel like it's a taboo subject. And I think that's why it's important for me to talk about it
Yeah.
because
No, this is
we need
great. This is honestly
we need
great. We
to
need more
we need to
discussion.
attack we need to talk about these things, and especially for our young men and women that are coming up, and especially in this age and time that they're growing up. It's pushed on them from now, like at the time they're 4 and 5 years old. At
It
four
is
and five,
so easy to open up your browser and witness
yes,
some sort of sexual nudist, and we've normalized it in our culture, right? We've
mhm,
normalized seeing it in our culture. And so, I remember one time my husband told me, he said, I like the way you look in a bikini, but I don't want you to take a bunch of pictures for social media in your bikini because I don't want everyone seeing what I see with you.
exactly,
And I
exactly,
had never,
exactly.
and meanwhile, I thought we're at the beach, we're having a good time, I'm looking good. What is the
Yes.
problem? Not realizing that once I became a wife, right? I have to respect the boundaries of marriage. Whatever that
Yeah.
might look like for you and your marriage is different. But if my husband's boundary is please don't be taking a bunch of bikini pictures, I have to respect that boundary, and vice versa. One thing that I always look at my husband, I'm selective with his cologne that he wears out. I'm like, oh, you can wear this cologne, but this cologne, no, man, no, sir, no, you're not wearing that. I would not like you to wear that unless I am with you, because
Okay.
one thing
Okay.
you said was, I smelled his cologne and it was
Absolutely.
smelling so good. And I heard my aunt
Absolutely.
the other day, she said, cologne or will get the pants right off a woman. And
Absolutely.
so I
If
think
a man
about that and I think about
smells
all
good,
that temptation that
yes,
comes. But then I
yes.
think about if I'm in a bikini, all that temptation. See, because a
Temptation.
picture
Exactly.
says a
Exactly.
thousand words, right? I might be moved on from that picture. It might be a year later, but somebody on my profile that's my friend is looking through my pictures and going, ooh, still
Yep.
looking at a picture from years back. And
Exactly.
so we
Exactly.
just have to be mindful of fleshly desires. Fleshly
Absolutely.
desires.
Absolutely. So I love, and I want to touch back on this, and we're going to do a continuous because I usually try to wrap up the show in like 30 minutes or so. So
And I
definitely.
have to go too. I'm
Um,
getting ready to take my kids to their aunt's house. But
okay.
I enjoy this
So
topic. I'm always here for it. I'm always here
we are
for it.
going to continue next Saturday, but we're going to have some guys coming too. So it's going to be really hot. But join us next Saturday as we continue this topic of I'm ready for sex, but not marriage. I want to thank you, India, for joining us
Thank
today.
you for having me.
Share this video, like you see all of our where you can reach us, YouTube and IG and all that kind of stuff. Thank you for spending your Saturday with us. I
Of course.
appreciate you all. Love you all. Thank you so much and have a blessed Saturday. We will see you next time. Have a great day. Bye for
All
now.
right. Take care. Bye-bye.